Well, good afternoon, scrapbooking friends. This is Barbara with Scrapbooking with Barbara, and we are moving on to volume 2 of my nephew's sports album, Will's sports album. If you watched the video of the first volume, welcome back. If you are just joining us and you want to go back and watch the first one, you don't have to. You're not going to lose all that much, but if you want to see the whole continuity of my nephew from his first sports team, like at age 5 or 6 on, you may want to do that. So let's take a look and see how this goes. A quick recap, my brother approached me to do this set of albums for his youngest son. I had done a double album set for his older son a couple years back, and my brother really wanted all of the memorabilia and pictures to be put into safe storage, and he knew that I've always spoken so highly about Creative Memories and the products that he came knocking on my door to do the project again. So he gave me everything back in January. I've been working on it for quite a while now. It is June. I finally finished, and I'm excited to be presenting both of the albums to my nephew Will tomorrow afternoon. So this is album 2, and here's the title page. He did so much during senior year that senior year pretty much took up a good portion of this whole album. So I'm going to put some light on here. Hopefully that's going to make it a little easier for everybody to see. So I'm being optimistic and hoping that he's going to be able to continue on. He's going to be transferring to a 4-year college, and he'll hopefully play some sports for them, and we can put those pictures and memorabilia in this album at the back. So here we go. A shout out to my wonderful ladies who helped me with getting embellishments and stickers and papers that helped me. My daughter did not play basketball or softball. I think she played softball actually for 1 or 2 years on a town team, but I don't have leftovers from any of those layouts. She chose to get a black belt in karate instead. So it was great to have so many friends show up with their donations to this project. And they certainly have heard me talk about it for the last 6 months. So I hope that some of them get a chance to see the finished product. As I mentioned in the first video, I really love peekaboo pockets. We have them in several sizes, and they really allow for a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun ways to incorporate journaling boxes and cards and extra photos into your layouts. So you'll see a lot of those in here. I also am a huge fan of 8.5 by 11 pocket pages. These fit right into our 12 by 12 albums. They are great to put things like certificates, as you can see, programs, any kind of memorabilia that you might want to keep for your kiddos or for whoever it is you're making your album for. I have utilized these a lot in my daughter's her school albums. I would try to save several things like pieces of her work or tests or papers to add to each grade as we moved along. So I use those quite a bit in those school albums for her. So I did try to put journaling areas for Will. I'm going to be giving him a Creative Memories dual point pen. So I'm hoping he is going to go through the album and try to write a few of his memories of the events that were covered. I've talked a little bit in the first video about a newsprint. There was a lot of newsprint, a lot of articles about the teams that Will played on, and my first approach is always to try to cut the newsprint into a nice even shapes, and to play with those shapes to figure out how they can fit onto the 12 by 12 page. These columns, ran all the way down the length of the newspaper page, so I had to figure out like where to cut it and where I could put it together so that it would flow okay on a page this size. And my brother gave me lots of internet texts and internet articles. Here's a good example of a combination of newspaper, different online announcements. These two are from the actual school sports site. So I was happy to put everything in one area to make it easy to look at. Here are some 8x10s. I just chose to simply mount those. I created a border using our border maker cartridge with the flags, but then the theme pack I used that is still available from Creative Memories is a baseball theme pack, and they had a sticker strip, so I cut the little flags with Go Team and adhered them to the actual border maker strips that I had cut for this project. So if you haven't heard me say before, the school colors for Will's high school were red and silver, so I tried to use those a lot. My brother gave me a whole bunch of 8x10 photos of one of his famous barbecues, and one of our embellishment packs really reflected how much fun it is to have an event with food and grilling and barbecuing, and so that fit right in with this particular event that my brother hosted. And he's big on feeding the team and having burgers and dogs and ribs and really keeping all their appetites suppressed. This was one of the designer papers from the baseball theme pack that is available. We move on to graduation. Lots of newspaper articles here. I was able to use the 8.5 by 11 pocket pages to actually put the whole graduation insert that was in the local paper. I just put the whole thing, folded it up, and put the whole thing right in there, so that's awesome and easy to pull out. A program from the awards night. All of his certificates. And I believe this is the insert that they oftentimes will print for spring sports, since the yearbook is oftentimes, printed a lot sooner, a lot more in advance, so they print that addendum. Professional photographers, the school hires did such a nice job. I believe these are the seniors, senior baseball players, and I just love the black background. I thought it was so stunning. I didn't want to gunk up the pages with too much. I just wanted to let the photos really speak for themselves. I think that these are just awesome. This was incredibly cute. Will's 4th grade teacher had them write letters to themselves that they would read when they became seniors. So she had them write these letters, and then I believe she presented them to them during graduation or right around graduation. So here's Will's letter to himself. And then more newspaper articles. Will made the all-scholastic team, so lots of newspapers and congratulations and certificates. Here's another use of the card. The Peekaboo Pockets with a card. When you're using Peekaboo Pockets to either put a card, the card top, or adding extra photos to a page, you would put the page protector on top, and then the Peekaboo Pocket actually sticks on top of the protector. So that's what makes it easy to read. Great picture of my nephew, which was in the paper because of the All Scholastic award he got. And this is really fun. This is something that those of you who are with the old CM probably remember this from the I think with a great length paper packs. They would have a die cut, several die cuts, a big die cut, and then some stickers, and maybe a journaling box. So this is really an oldie but goodie. More newspaper articles, lots of newspaper articles. This particular card I didn't want to cut in half and do the whole, you know, opening the card using a peekaboo pocket because his coach had written such wonderful words, and I didn't want to cut them because he wrote right over the fold. So I just decided to put it in a 8.5 by 11 pocket page, and that can be taken out easily also. Will went on to community college, and so the colors changed to green and white. So here was an idea that I kind of stole from a similar idea. It was the person had put 3 baseballs at the bottom of the page, cut them in half and sort of put them like this. And so I just decided to do one big one. I used the jumbo circle custom cutting template to do that, and I sort of handed the baseball. I just thought it was something different. And some more college baseball memorabilia and photos. Oh, excuse me. And this is the last page. And added a few of the handouts about the season. And as I did with the first album, I like to include a multi-pocket page at the back of the albums. These would give Will the ability to add photos that might, you know, be tucked in drawers and they're found, you know, a couple of years later, and you can at least put them with the album that they sort of belong to. If he wanted to write any more memories or do whatever, at least it gives him a vehicle to do that. So I'd also like to just make a mention of, I forgot to do this on the first video, but I didn't say anything about these custom spines that you can now get for your albums. We didn't have this when I did my first nephew's sports album, so I created a little card that I slid into the top of the spine. But this is awesome. You're able to go to the Creative Memories, my website, and you can, it's very, very easy to do. You design this right on the website, and then you can order them, and they just look so professional. They look so nice when they're sitting on the shelves. There's a number of different fonts you can choose from, different colors. I think it's like black and gold and silver. And I just feel like it just adds so much to the look of your album. So that's an option that you can choose to do if you want to make your albums kind of be easily identifiable on the shelf. So thank you so much for listening to this album walkthrough for the second volume of Will's sports album. It really has been a labor of love, and I'm really excited to give these 2 albums to him tomorrow. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'd be happy to answer as best I can. And I promise that I will try to get some more videos up in the very, very near future. So thanks so much for watching, and have a really great weekend.